Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Water Cooler. I am Sarah from Texas, and this is our place to chat all the latest celebrity news, reality TV. Just going to show my little Mary. I hate that the way I sit now. You can't see any of my shirts. So anyways, hope you're doing well. We are having such cold weather here, which is not my favorite thing, but at least it is sunny. So I'm dealing with that. Boy, lots of sadness this weekend, right? So we will touch on it. The news keeps coming out, seems like second by about Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle's murder allegedly by their son, Nick, their adult son. Just so I'll fill you in on the latest on that soon. But obviously, our hearts and prayers go out to everyone affected by the Brown University shooting. The Bondi Beach shooting in Australia, just awful. Our family happened to be at a major university in Texas the same time that my husband saw the news about Brown University. So we were like, it's a Saturday. What is going on? There's no kid. I just always think of like university mass shootings on a Saturday, on a Monday through Friday when students are more there. But then I was reminded, wait a minute, we are at a major university campus on Saturday because we were there for our oldest daughter's college graduation ceremony for her master's. And I'm like, were these people, and then my kids, because all 7 of us were together, they're all reminding me, oh my gosh, we take finals on Saturdays. We have classes on Saturdays. Like there's still lots of students on these major universities or any college campus. So anyways, it was just awful news. So I think they've got the person in custody from Brown University. I think they have obviously the person in custody from Australia. The footage that has come out of this amazing hero that, there's video footage of it, of this guy that tackled the gunman and then turns the gun on him. The fact that he had restraint from shooting that guy in the head, like kudos to him. So anyways, I hope he gets I heard he's a small business, like a fruit stand owner. I don't know. I hope he gets all the praise and rewards that he deserves because that took a lot of balls. Allegedly, he was just walking by and saw this happen. So anyways, yay. So glad y'all are catching live. Yes, so much tragedy. Okay, and clearly we will chat about Rob Reiner. I'm going to give you the latest on that. Vicki and Tamara, Kelly Dodd, dogging Shannon, of course, and Sutton Stracke finally giving us a lot of information about the break-in that happened at her house over BravoCon. So anyways, I don't have any TV shows to chat about today. I'm not caught up on anything because we did have such a busy weekend. Also, the main shows I'm watching besides 90 Day Fiance, which I do need to get caught up on that, is Vanderpump Rules and Beverly Hills and Salt Lake City. And all of those are on Tuesday and Thursday nights. So we chat about those on Wednesdays and Fridays. I did just see that Cecile says actor Anthony Geary passed away. He was from a soap opera, but I don't remember which one. If it wasn't All My Children, I didn't really watch it growing up. You know what I mean? I knew General Hospital and All My Children. I think I recognized him. Oh, they're doing a press conference. So go ahead. He's on. So this is the press conference for the arrest of Rob and Michelle's son, Nick. He's held on $4 million bail. So, okay. So it came out yesterday that 2 people were found dead at Rob Reiner's home. So I was like, gosh, this could be anything. It never occurred to me. Never occurred to me. 'Cause I don't know much about Rob Reiner's personal life, right? I mean, I remember him from Archie Bunker days. Clearly, he's a director and writer of so many good movies. Now we know he was 78 years old. I think his wife, Michelle, was 68. They had kids. Rob Reiner was also once married to Penny Marshall from Laverne and Shirley, and they had a kid together. But I think Rob and Michelle had like 3 kids together. Now, then it came out that it was Rob and Michelle who were murdered and there was a knife involved. And we're like, ew, y'all know I love true crime. Anytime there's a knife involved, it is almost always some kind of brutal tragedy, some kind of personal attack, right? It's not an acquaintance or somebody that just happened to be breaking in and somebody. It's usually very personal and very brutal. Then it comes out it was his son, their son. Then it comes out this detail I really think TMZ could have done without, but I saw it and then I'm like, oh my God. And I actually commented, I could have done without this comment. Their necks were slit. I mean, just to know this isn't the first child that has murdered their parents, but the fact that they're 78 and 68 years old and just, the when their necks were slit, it's even more gruesome and more of a personal attack and not just this, oh my God, I got upset and shot my dad and mom. No, this is you were that up close and personal and you did that to your mom and your dad. And that is the last image that your mom and dad have in their life. Like just awful. So now the latest comes out that he and his son, there's allegedly like a long history of maybe addiction on the son, Nick's part. But he and Rob were at Conan O'Brien's Christmas party Saturday night. We know this happened sometime Sunday around 3:30 California time. So I don't know if Nick lived with them, but if your son is at Conan O'Brien's holiday party with you, I'm assuming that means you weren't estranged. I'm assuming that means you're pretty close, right? Like, so how does it get to that point? Yeah. I mean, exactly. Diamond Cutter's like, how could your child do that? It's heartbreaking. It is. It's awful. And this, on Andy Cohen Live this morning, I was listening, and they were, of course, respectfully talking about it. And even John Hill joked, but he's like, this is why I can't have kids. Like, there's no way. And Andy Cohen was like, oh, your kids would never do this to you. And he goes, do you think Rob and Michelle Reiner thought their son would do this to them? Like, what in the actual? I mean, the Smith sisters this morning were saying, like, grab your sons. Like, what is going on here? Like, seriously. It is. Diamond Cutter says so much evil and demonic people in this world. Seriously, it is beyond tragic. A US Fly Girl. Um, okay. Melissa said he had been at home. So I was busy this morning doing mom duties, but also I was picking up groceries from the grocery store that I get donate or they donate to this local food bank and then delivering that. So picked up 370 pounds worth of food. So Melissa gave me some more information that I hadn't heard yet. He had been home for a while, and the mom had been telling friends the last few months that she was at her wits' end with him. It's so devastating. So, anyways, but the fact that he's on $4 million bail, I think that lets them know, look, they've got the money. I don't know who would come forward and put that money towards, getting him out. If you can do that to your mom and dad, we need to be concerned maybe about other people that he would do. Yeah, Diamond Cutter says, I saw an interview between Rob and his son on his dad showing him tough love. So obviously they've had issues. Yeah, this doesn't just happen. I mean, you don't just do this to your mom and dad without some issues going on. So anyways, it's really awful, but our prayers go out to everyone involved in the tragedy at Brown University, the tragedy in Australia. Also, just knowing that was the first night of Hanukkah and they were attacking people on Bondi Beach. It's just awful. The fact that every Jewish person now needs to be 1,000 times more wary of going to public events or where anyone knows that they're Jewish, just awful. So I know that this is the third year in a row that Andy Cohen has lit the Hanukkah at the neighborhood that he lives in. So even he said that his friends were asking him, are you sure you want to do this? And he said, look, now more than ever, I need to show up as a Jewish man. And my children, my 6-year-old son and my 3-year-old daughter, Lucy, were there at the event. Like, we need to show up more than ever and be proud of our Jewish heritage. So, yes, Melissa says, I'm Jewish and we've been nervous for quite some time. Yeah, one might say, hundreds of years, right? It is. It's awful. Yeah. Anyways. Okay. Let's move on to a little bit lighter, but yet still tragic, trash, stuff. Okay. So Vicki and Tamara were out again without Shannon. They're in like Santa Claus costumes. So I'm not sure if somebody hired them to do this, but how does this? I'm sorry, Vicki and Tamara. Is that what I said? Yeah, without Shannon. They all live in the same area. Now, I know that Shannon is single. I think two of her kids live in New York right now. One is still going to college in England or wherever they're at. So she might have been traveling. I don't know. It's just got to be like a gut punch that all of a sudden Vicki and Tamara are like buddy buddy and doing all this stuff together. It makes me feel like Shannon is not coming back to OC. I don't know why I'm thinking that. I'm just saying I think that's what's happening with them. What also makes me think this is that Kelly Dodd was saying that. So Kelly Dodd is not friends with Tamara. She's kind of had her on and off moment, and she's definitely not friends with Shannon. She's kind of had on and off again, but I think she's on again with Vicki. So now that Vicki and Tamara are back buddy buddy, how does Kelly Dodd feel about that to Vicki? Like, it's crazy. It's crazy what's going on. But so Kelly and Rick are on vacation, this trip of a lifetime. They're in Hong Kong, they're in Vietnam, maybe somewhere else. I don't know, for at least a week, week and a half, but they've still been going live. She has already blocked me. She's blocked me on Instagram for a long time now. Now she blocked me on TikTok a week or so ago. They haven't blocked me on YouTube yet. So I had not caught up on my DMs, but I read one that said, go check out Friday's Kelly Dodd. Later, I read a few more DMs. And other people were saying, oh my God, go check out Kelly's thing from Friday. So I go and watch it. It's only like 24 minutes or something. It starts off, it's just Rick, and they're in Hong Kong Island. It's Rick and Kelly's Smash, or whatever it's called. Smash, or Rick and Kelly Daily Smash. It's like 24 minutes, maybe. Streamed 2 weeks. Did they block me? How do you block on Friday? No, wait, what? Are they just putting them up as videos? Okay, okay. It doesn't show up under live. The videos, it shows up from 3 days ago. It's 12 minutes and 48 seconds, so it's very short. But it's just Rick talking about, oh, we're at this nice hotel and we're treating ourselves. Then the doorbell rings, and I'm like, oh, dude, you so knew you had champagne being delivered and poured for y'all. And then he's showing the guy, he's like, we're just living it up because we can, and we've been staying at the nicest places, and we work so hard. But I can hear Kelly in the background. And I'm like, oh, this is why people were telling me to listen, right? So Kelly's in the background, I can hear her. And I'm like, okay, she's on the phone. She's bitching and moaning about something. Then finally, I'm like, yes. Rick goes into the bathroom, and Kelly's like, oh, I'm on TikTok live. And I'm like, oh, that's why you don't show up, because you blocked me on TikTok. And she's like, oh, I'm just telling the Smashers how Glam by Pam has been praising about me, but she's been ragging on Shannon Beador. I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on? So Glam by Pam, I learned about from Shannon, but somebody in my comments reminded me that she's been with Denise Richards for a long time, and that's how Shannon got to know her. But I guess I knew more about her from Shannon because Shannon comes on Jeff Lewis Live a lot more, and Glam by Pam was coming on with her and then being also on the show. So I knew that Glam by Pam, she's tagged by Shannon a lot. She was her hair and makeup, her stylist, whatever. She was the one that recommended that Amazon bra that everyone talked about forever and ever and ever. I tried it. It didn't work for me. The costume that Shannon Beador recently posted on her Instagram, where she's in like that elf costume, her tits were so pushed up and looked like a uniboob. I wanted to say, look, whatever bra you're wearing, take it off. Like wear something different, because it wasn't working for me. But I did notice at BravoCon that she had done a post and she didn't have Glam by Pam with her. And I'm like, wait a minute. They live in Orange County. Las Vegas isn't that far. There's all these Bravo celebrities, Denise Richards. Why would Glam by Pam not be there and be with Shannon? So then I start digging after this thing that Kelly said, and I go and look. On August 14th was the last time on Instagram that I can see where Shannon and Glam by Pam posted together, and it was like family dinner. I mean, they were very close, right? Then I go to Glam by Pam's. It's all Denise Richards right now. Tons of Denise Richards. Like, she is really doing a lot of work for Denise Richards. I don't know what Denise Richards is paying her with because, according to her almost ex Aaron, they have no money, or maybe it's him that has no money and actually Denise Richards does. I don't know. Oh my goodness. It's a mess. But on the YouTube, Rick is like, we're living large because we can. They're all bragging. And then at the end of the video, it's basically saying, yeah, Shannon was like acting like she was up here and, Glam by Pam was down here, and you shouldn't treat people like that. You got to be respectful and, not brag and all this stuff. I'm like, all you and Rick do is brag and put other people down. Like, wait, the hypocrisy was very, very real. Oh my goodness. Wait, what? Wait, what? May Boo says, I'm afraid Shannon is mutton dressed as lamb. All that big blonde hair is not a good look for her. I mean, her extensions and plugins or whatever they're called often look very, very bad. Melissa says, Kelly divulges too much, which makes her great TV. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've said Kelly Dodd is great TV. I've said Brandi Glanville is great TV. I mean, for anyone that wants to argue with me about that, I'll say Bethany Frankel is great TV. I say Jeff Lewis Live is great TV and radio. I'm always going to have their back on that, because the fact is, if someone doesn't feel strongly about someone, they're probably not that great at what they're doing. You got to kind of have people that love you and equally as much hate you. And that's exactly what Bethany Frankel, Kelly Dodd, all those people have in common, right? Brandi Glanville, which makes them great TV, right? Great entertainers. I mean, Jeff Lewis often says he doesn't block people because his biggest listeners are his haters. They're the ones that pay full price for SiriusXM, whereas people like me call and get a discount because I'm not going to pay a whole lot of money for that. You know what I mean? Anyways, it was crazy. Just go take a listen to that and let me know what you think. But I have to think Shannon is very much filling on the outs. I have to think that Kelly Dodd is filling on the outs from Vicki with this whole reunion. I'm not even sure Andy Cohen is buying it. He basically was saying, well, Tamara and Vicki are doing a bunch of spam, stuff, which not spam, SponCon, which means like sponsored advertisement stuff. It's all for money. It's all for, but it just seems interesting that they were always the Trace Amigas and now it's the Dos Amigas, but but Tamara and Vicki, not Vicki and Shannon, who were left in the dust by Tamara when she bailed on them with their tour that they were doing. Yes, Cecile says haters give clicks too. They almost give more clicks than the people that love those people, right? Because they want to talk about it. It's like when people say, why are you talking about Kelly Dodd? I'm like, because she fascinates me. She pisses me off. She fascinates me. I mean, that's what you talk about. You don't talk about someone that's boring or that doesn't make you feel a certain way, whether you love them or hate them. But let's face it, that's why there's always negative reviews on a hotel or a restaurant or, an Uber driver. Not many people take the time to praise people. They get fired up and they want to bitch and moan about something that irritates them or someone that irritates them. So if you want to know why I talk about Kelly Dodd, because she irritates me. Seriously. Oh my goodness. Okay, Sutton Stracke. So this morning I was in the car and going to it was almost on the verge of the end of Smith Sisters Live was ending, and then Andy Cohen was coming on. And then whenever I got in my car from leaving the food bank, Jeff Lewis had just started and he was about a few minutes into it and it was interviewing Sutton Stracke. And I was like, huh, I kind of don't think Sutton has discussed the break-in like she was like we've heard the details from the Kathy Hilton break-in at BravoCon. Now she was supposed to be on Jeff Lewis Live after BravoCon, but with that break-in, I think she canceled. So I thought, you know what? I kind of want to hear what she has to say. Y'all, she did not hold back. But I am left with so many questions. And I think Jeff Lewis is also. Like, even at one point, I'm not saying it was Avi. I'm saying Jeff was teasing about maybe it's an inside job. And I wish we had Jeff Lewis Live video again, because I can bet you that Sutton was giving Jeff the wink, like, oh, you're fine. She said something like Sherlock Holmes or so, like, oh, he's picking up on what I'm saying without saying it. But I have so many questions. Like, she's saying it was $1 million in basically purses and jewelry. She had a lot of her jewelry with her. So she was gone at BravoCon from Wednesday to probably Sunday or Monday. It happened on a Saturday, the same day, or I don't know. She doesn't know when it happened because her cameras weren't working. The Wi-Fi wasn't working. Some kind of cameras were working because she knows it was 3 people with masks on. She did not hear their voices. She's saying the cameras that she had inside by her closet did not work. Every answer that Jeff asked her was, I don't know. I don't know. Is insurance going to pay you back? I don't know. Why weren't the cameras working? I don't know. Why wasn't this? Why weren't the cops notified? I don't know. It was bizarre. I'm not saying it's anything like the Wendy Osefo insurance fraud of it all, but it sounded interesting. Like, I would really love to hear from insurance people how much proof you need for $1 million loss. Like, don't you need your jewelry like appraised and scheduled, like have a separate jewelry writer? Like, I think only like us normal people like me can say like, oh yes, I had a $400 ring and I had anything expensive like that, you got to have an appraisal and a separate insurance writer, I'm pretty sure. But also on these Birkins, she was even talking about how you buy a Birkin and it goes up like 100%. I mean, they're worth a lot more than you buy them, instead of like a car where, like a Porsche, where you lose money right off the thing. But there was just so many questions. She's basically thinking about moving. She's going to look today at, like, it sounds like some high rise, something with security, a doorman, like live on a higher floor where she can't have all these windows and, this broken in stuff, and she'll feel more secure. She is right now has a 24/7 armed security at her gate at all times. So if she did the math, right now she's had it for about 5 weeks. If she did the math, in like a year's time, she'd be spending about $300,000 on an armed security. So she probably has the money for that. But who wants to live like that? She's a single woman with like 4 cats, 4 dogs. I mean, even one of the things she said was the most hurtful thing is that they left the door wide open for all these hours. Her dog walker is the one that noticed the door was opened. That is who called the police. She doesn't even know when the break-in actually happened. She thinks it was 12:30 at night, a.m. So the dog walker probably didn't come till 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. So all that time, the 3 or 4 cats are with her. She had 1 cat with her at BravoCon, probably her favorite, and 4 dogs in her kitchen. Well, that's where they broke in, was the big kitchen window. But also, why did she have glass break on almost every window, but not on this huge picture window in her kitchen? Does she not think people don't break in through kitchen windows? Like, who was her security advisor? How do you have this much money? How are you on a very popular, very wealthy reality TV show and not have better security? I mean, definitely rich people problem. She admits that. But I don't understand how every answer was, I don't know. I don't know. It's 5 weeks. How do you not know if your Wi-Fi was down? How do you? She's like, well, I think we had bad weather that weekend, so maybe the Wi-Fi was down. How do people not know this yet? How have the police? How has she not hired a private security consultant to come and help? Is it raining? No, beautiful sunshiny day. Oh, it's the Southwest Airlines that go by to the airport that live near us. Because we live near an airport just like DJ James Kennedy. Anyways. But okay, so Diamond Cutter says, guess when you live on the main road, that's what happens. But if anything, on a main road, I've always heard like a corner lot, they get broken in more because there's so much more traffic coming at a stop sign or whatever that people don't pay attention. I live in a cul-de-sac of 3 homes. I know exactly. I know my neighbors. I have their phone numbers. I text them if we're going to be gone. We call each other if anything alarming happens. The people across from me are new, so I have not met them yet. But I know every other neighbor. They know what cars should be at my house. I know what cars should be at their house. They would know if my house alarm was going off. First of all, my house alarm, I set it off yesterday on accident because I'd already set the alarm. And then my daughter came home from a friend's house, my 20-year-old, and I forgot that she was at her friend's house. And the people instantly call us. They're in Dallas. They instantly call us and say, hey, is everything okay? What's your code? Can you verify which door was open? What is your first and last name? They don't play around. They call my husband's cell phone number and they call mine, 2 different people every single time within seconds to see if everything's okay. We also have a dog. Obviously, Luna, I can't show her to you today because she's on my bed. Looney. She didn't even look up. Looney Tunes. Literally not looking up. Poo poo. Nothing. Luna, what I do? Luna, nothing. She's not even looking up. Anyways, you can tell. But even they brought up that she's got all these animals. There is a way that you can set your alarm, which we do every single time if Luna is in the house by herself, because, you know, when we're inside, there's a way to set the alarm. That way it knows humans are inside. But if a door opens, if the glass is broken, then the alarm instantly goes off and these people can call you. And I am not spending $300,000 a year. What does that mean, though? Texas is very different from California. What does that mean? There's break-ins everywhere, though, but there's rich people everywhere. The thing is, if anything, in California, in LA, in Beverly Hills, wherever it is she lives, especially since she's famous, especially since people know she's single, especially since people now know all 3 of her children live outside of the house, she doesn't have Avi anymore. There's so many reasons that she should have tight ass security. Like it shouldn't be a question, especially when people know she's off for BravoCon for 4 to 5 days. It's crazy. Right. And that's the reason she's looking into this high rise with better security. She tells us that it's so gross to know that her pillowcases were stolen. I didn't know why that would happen. She said this happens all the time. They use the pillowcases to put the jewelry in. They don't even bring their own pillowcase or bag. So knowing that I'm looking at my bed because just, you know, her closet, I don't know how her house is set up. I don't know if you have to go through the bedroom to get to the closet. I assume so, but I don't know the layout of her home. Anyone on the inside that had been to her home before, which I'm sure housekeepers go to her house, you know, someone cleans the upholstery, you know, an electrician, a handyman, filming, the camera crews, Pole and Patrick. I mean, you know, anyone that works for her, family and friends, these parties that she hosts, like tonight, that'll have like 100 people, or tomorrow night, that'll have like 100 people there. All these people now know the layout of her house. So if you didn't have to go through her closet, to get to the bedroom. She now knows these 3 people were in her bed and touched her pillowcases because they stole them to carry the bags and the jewelry out. It's so creepy. Like, I'm almost surprised that she's even still living at that house. I mean, she's got the money to go stay at a hotel or a friend's house. I don't know that I would be living there. I just would not. Yeah, Cecile says losing your sense of security is the worst thing when you're robbed or burglarized. I can't even imagine. Luckily, I've never in my life, even growing up, our family's house was never robbed. I've owned 3 homes. None of our homes have ever been robbed. Never anything. And I have security cameras everywhere, just so you know, on the outside. Yes, we do. And a security alarm. But you know, it's crazy. Life After 50 Space has all these celebrities announce their whereabouts on social media, and the criminals are watching. It's just too easy. But it shouldn't be that easy that you don't have working security cameras. You don't have a working security alarm. You don't make sure the jewelry is locked up somewhere. You don't make sure. It's crazy. I'm not tempting fate. I mean, yes, knock on wood. This is that. Oh, Luna, that was me. I was knocking on wood because my computer now sits on a little wooden TV tray. Luna, come here, baby. That was me. She's never going to believe me. She's going to think somebody's at the door. Luna, come here, baby girl. That was me. That was Mama. I didn't even think. That was me. Oh, she's protecting me. See, and we've got Luna. Michelle says, sadly, many of these private security companies are also involved, which makes sense, right? Again, an inside job. It's just gross, huh? Very scary to be. I mean, even it's just scary in general to be a celebrity, right? Like but to know that your home and the inside of your house, the outside of your house is filmed, and there are people that are looking and they know you carry these. I mean, on last week's episode of Beverly Hills, they showed bam, 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 like 3 or 4 different Birkins and what they cost. I mean, they production does all the work for these people. They don't even have to wonder if they've got money. It's called Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. They show them that. Exactly. So we know she talks about, which we already kind of knew the Rick Hilton details. So the Hiltons were also burglarized, but Rick Hilton was home. And those people, it was one person, they got in the house, but he chased them down. He got into their bedroom. He chased them down with a shotgun. So Diamond Cutter said Sutton needs to get herself a Rick Hilton. But I mean, I think it was Dorit recently said she's probably the one with the least amount of game as far as like when it comes to dating. Oh, thank you, Charlie Charles. Let's give this vlog a thumbs up to support Sarah. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Oh my goodness. It's a lot, but she really gave all the details. So go listen to today's December 15th, first hour of Jeff Lewis Live with Sutton Stracke. I don't know who was coming on the second hour. I don't know who it was. Anyways, but by then I was already out of the car. So I finished listening up to it at the house as I was oh, I get scam calls all the time. They tell me I have a loan. You know, the loan that you would. I'm like, bitch, I ain't got no loan. Mayboo says, I had a scam caller the other day. I told them how karma will come for them and how wicked they are. Got me on the wrong day. I don't even get humans. I can tell they're robots. So I say hello, but I don't even, Well, why? Bridget says Sutton was crazy to give all the details, in my opinion. I'm just curious with insurance, if this is going to be even approved. I feel like she was letting us know that she didn't lock up the jewelry, that she didn't say anything about having riders or a separate insurance policy for the jewelry or appraisals. It just sounded sketch. You know what I mean? Yeah. Tea with Tambo says, you'd think these rich people would have a specialty room for stuff like that, like a panic room for valuables. And not every rich person owns all these valuables or people know about it, right? But she is famous and talks about this stuff and carries this stuff. So we see her in diamonds. She is not a rich person that's acting like she doesn't own Birkins that she could resell and jewelry that they could resell. Oh, really? Mayboo says most people in the UK keep jewelry in the bank. I think that was common in the 40s and 50s, maybe in the US with super rich people that they would go and get the jewelry out for a special occasion. But I guess with the invention of security alarms, and cameras, they don't do that. I don't know. Um, I know. She didn't exactly give that detail. I was inferring it from her lack of saying that she had an appraisal for the jewelry. She was just kind of acting like I had left this jewelry out. LTG says it makes zero sense that she wouldn't have insurance on her jewelry. That's actually unbelievable. Yeah, I know. Crazy. I've heard of that scam. Diamond Cutter says where they change the voice and act like it's your son or your grandson's voice. Says my mom got a call from a town over saying that they were a bail bonds company for her grandson. None of her grandsons were in jail. But think of how alarming that would be if you don't know about that scam and it's your grandson's voice saying grandma or Mimi or mommy, whatever the name is, come and get me, send this money so I can get out of jail. Something happened. It's terrifying, the scams on phone calls and emails that are going around. Yeah. Cecile says the porch pirates don't give a shit about security cameras. That's true. That's true. Wow. Michelle says her husband's a police officer. My husband said for law enforcement, AI is really scary. Yeah, it's really crazy. I mean, nobody's AI'd my voice yet, but just check with me, honey, because for one thing, I go live 3 days a week now. I used to go live 5 to 6 days a week. So when all that nonsense was said from Jeff Lewis saying that I had stepped over a line and I'd maybe gone to his daughter's school and whatever all that nonsense was, I'm like, none of that is true. Like, ask me, everything I do is said live or on a video. But now that AI is a thing, like, no telling what crazy people will try to say about me or make it look like I've said. Um, Anne Marie says the cost of a safety deposit box would be more expensive than my jewelry. Well, that's what I wonder. Not that Sutton doesn't have $300,000 because she's made it very clear verbally and by the lifestyle that she lives that she had a very good divorce settlement from her ex-Christian, right? So it's not that she can't afford $300,000 a year, but nobody wants to spend that and be reminded every time you drive home that I've got armed security outside my house, outside my gate. Like that alone, that's priceless, to have a sense of security that you feel safe in your home and you don't have a man outside your house with a gun making sure that everything is okay. I do feel like selling her home, maybe having less to maintain, not that she's old, but just less to maintain. Her 3 kids are, away. She said her daughter's in New York, in her second year of law school. She may never move home again. She might buy a home after this or live somewhere else. That's what she kind of talked about, was buying. She mentioned the name of something, but it sounded to me, because she said something about the 7th or 8th floor, like moving high somewhere to a community that would have more staff, that would be harder to break in, right? Life After 50 Space said, I bet Sutton will move now to a gated community. I know, don't get me wrong. Diamond Cutter says, first, Jeff should have known better considering that he knows me. Second, he could have easily fact-checked that before being reckless on air. Shame on him, Sarah. I mean, it's old news, but it still hurts. And it killed me. It killed me for him to say that. It killed me that just right before that, I'd spent a 3.5 hour dinner at him with just 5 people, me and Melanie and Scott, who had invited me, and Shane and Jeff. Nobody else for 3.5 hours. I've met him many times before, but when you spend 3.5 hours with someone, I mean, we talked about stuff and we talked about how, his fans hated me and were so brutal to me and everything. He's like, I know. And then we agreed, let's have this agreement to talk to each other when things or what have you and check on things. And instead, I, hear on the radio, oh my God, is he talking about you? I'm like, what are y'all talking about? They're like, he's talking about some fan that's, uh, you know, crossed a line and she's, going to Monroe's school and he's going to find the video. And that I'm like, find the video, honey. There is none. I am safe in Texas. I have never in my life thought to go to Monroe's school. Like disgusting. I've never driven by Jeff Lewis's house. Like, no, I'm not that fan. I don't do that. I've never thought to do that. Every time I had a trip to California, I was almost always either picked up by a fellow chumpette friend or I was traveling with other chumpette friends that we got in the same Uber or ride share together and we were together almost nonstop. Sometimes I've even shared hotel rooms with other chumpette friends. Like I've literally been with people 24/7. I'm not like sneaking off for hours and going to Jeff Lewis's home or going to Monroe's school. Like it was it was so demonic. It was so hurtful. It killed my account. So for him to be like, don't come at my business. Well, you came at mine because if you think that didn't affect me, it fueled the fire of the lovers against me. And it absolutely made people not trust me because that's all they needed to hear. They knew he was talking about me. There was no doubt about what other blogger he was talking about. Honey, there was no other blogger but me talking about your ass. Oh my gosh. But the fact that he didn't stand up for me and said that on the radio without, calling me first and just seeing or having a video proof of something was literally so incredibly hurtful. Yeah. Um, yeah. Diamond Cutter says, I know it did, Sarah. That's when I quit listening to him consistently. If he would do that, do you like that? Ridiculous. And Shane didn't stick up for you. Well, Shane's not going to stick up for anyone, but I don't think anyone, and I get it. Even when Jeff and I later talked about the Margaret stuff, about the, after my live event, he said, sometimes it just takes me a few weeks. I got to calm down, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, but you needed to calm down before you went on radio and demolished me. I mean, literally. Oh my gosh. It was easily fact checked. I mean, and I had never crossed a line. I had never asked for a favor or, I'd always been respectful to all of them. Anyways. Anne Marie says Jeff is very similar to Kelly Dodd. Yeah, they definitely are. They, two peas in a pod. Anyways, live and learn, what have you, right? Well, I didn't watch any TV shows. I don't know anything that's going on with 90 Day Fiance. I need to catch up on that. But things are just, it's a busy, extra busy time of year. Like I said, we had our daughter's graduation this weekend. She got her master's degree and she'll be a CPA. She's already passed all 4 of her CPA exams, which is awesome. She's already got a big girl job that was offered to her and she accepted like almost a year ago, she accepted that job. And then I had a dinner, an annual Christmas dinner that we go to last night with 2 other couples that are just 2 of our bestest friends. So fun. We've done that every year for like 10 or 12 years. So we all got dressed up. So this is day 3 of me having my hair down and makeup on every single day. Because you know what? I do feel better when I wear makeup. and when my hair is down, and my husband is so sweet. It was so windy last night. First of all, the restaurant was like kind of on the edge of downtown Houston. It was extra cold, extra windy. So when we valeted, I drove because I knew I was going to drive home in case they had wine or something, which they had. I don't think anyone had wine. I think they had cocktails. Well, I know they had cocktails, but anyways, and it was super windy. And as we walked into the restaurant, I was like, oh my God, this is why I wear my hair in a ponytail every day. And Brian was like, but it looks so good when it's down. I mean, he was so sweet. Oh my gosh. What is a CPA? I don't know what it's certified. I don't know what it stands for. The people that do, so she's going to do audits. So CPA is like an accountant, like a special kind, certified public accountant. Thank you, Tiva Tambo. I paid for the degree, but I don't even know what it stands for. Certified public accountant. That's right. Anyways, Jeff needs to get his therapist back, but he pushed her away also. I mean, yeah, and it didn't help, right? Like it didn't help. Anyways, okay. Anything else y'all want to chat about? Any TV shows? Are you gonna give Vanderpump Rules an episode 3 chance? I did hear Michael Beck promoted at the very end of the first hour of Jeff Lewis Live today, and all he said was it comes on Thursday nights, watch it. And Jeff was like, well, aren't you going to say something about it? Like you didn't even say any reason to watch it. Like you're not, she's very good at math. Y'all, this daughter, my 2 oldest girls have never made a B in their life, even in college. Yeah, they've made straight A's. This daughter that just graduated, the other one was summa cum laude also at Georgia, University of Georgia, and graduated in 3 years. And then the oldest daughter was one of 2 in the entire graduating ceremony, undergraduate and master's, like she has, that had a 4.0. Anyway, so yeah, she's very good at math. Did not get her brains from me. Uh-oh, Bridget says it's a big no on Vanderpump Rules. It was awful. I tried twice, but no. I did. So Life at 50 just finished Owning Manhattan with Ryan Serhant. I did think that was good. Jet, do you still talk to Melanie and Scott from the dinner? I mean, the way people have betrayed me and effed me over, I don't know what happened with Melanie and Scott. Melanie is the one that reached out to me. I never knew of her, never knew she was a fan or a Chumpette listener, what have you. She reached out to me probably a month or 2 before she had gone to this dinner. And she just messaged me and said something like, I'm going to dinner when Jeff comes to New York. I've got this $10,000 dinner. And I'm like, oh, that's great. Cool. And then she said, I'd have to read the DMs to confirm, but I'm going by memory 2 years ago. But she said, I'll come on your Instagram live and I'll talk about it. And I said, no, that's not cool. Like you can tell me about it, and I won't talk about it on the show, but no, that's whatever. And then like a week before, if y'all remember, she sent me a message, said, hey, I just got confirmation in the contract from Jeff's attorney. And he said that we can bring a guest. So we would love to invite you if you can get to New York. And I was like, I even came on my Instagram live, my podcast, and was like, oh my God, this Chumpette fan just invited me as a guest to the $10,000 dinner. Like, can you believe? And everyone was like, you've got to go. Like, this is insane. Like, how can you not go? So I thought about it and I looked at the date, looked at the flight ticket, which was like $600 because it was so last minute. And I'm like, I told my husband, I'm like, should I go? He's like, absolutely. So I called Melanie. I wanted to talk to her, make sure she was like a normal person, that she wasn't just a lover trying to like scam me. I messaged not Scott. I messaged Shane because remember, this is before I had Jeff Lewis's personal phone number. And I just seen him at the Halloween event in LA. He had just invited me and I'd gone to the BravoCon party that he had hosted. I'd just seen him somewhere else. It seems like ChumpCon or something had just happened. And then she was inviting me as a guest to the $10,000 dinner. And so I reached out to Shane. I said, hey, there's a girl named Melanie that's inviting me. I said, are y'all okay with me coming as her guest? And is she legit? Did she really buy this $10,000 dinner? And he's like, yeah, yes, and yes. We'd love for you to come. So we ended up staying at the same hotel room. We went to dinner. I treated them with some gifts. As a thank you, because she was letting me come to this $10,000 dinner, and hung out. I mean, it was fun. I mean, they're like a normal couple. And then I went Instagram Live after the dinner, the 3.5 hour dinner with Jeff and Shane and her husband, Scott. She was on video with me in my hotel room saying how much fun it was, all this stuff. Then it was like she wasn't really talking to me. And then she was posting stuff about going to LA and having another $10,000 dinner, I found out, with this other Chumpette fan that I love, that I had introduced them to, and never told me anything about it. I don't know what happened. I don't know. She's ghosted me, I guess. I mean, I think they all do. Diamond Cutter says, I think Melanie let the trolls get to her. Sadly, she must be easily influenced. Yeah, but I'm the one that gets hurt. I'm the one that loses out on friends or feels betrayed and feels like, was that even real? Like, did you use me? Like, why would you do that to me? I was so nice to y'all. Shanda says, did y'all notice when on Salt Lake City, Heather commented on Lisa's Prada slide so the cameras would zoom in? It's her insecurity. Well, they're all about the brands over there, aren't they? Yeah. I don't know. Jet says, how does Melanie and Scott have so much cash to burn? They don't have any kids. They've been married like 30 years. They live in the home that Melanie grew up in. So I know Scott's a DJ because he offered to come DJ at my January 2024 Sarah from Texas event. He didn't end up doing that. Just Melanie flew out alone. But I don't know. I've never really asked them. The fact that I don't even know or don't pay attention to what a Chanel bracelet or Cartier ring or watch or I don't pay attention to any of that stuff. I was just hanging out with Scott and Melanie. So I never knew if they had money or not. It was other Chumpette friends that were telling me, did you see the bracelets she was wearing? Did you see the watch and da-da-da? And I was like, no, I don't even pay attention to that stuff. I know she had a Ralph Lauren sweater on, but nothing about how they dressed the entire 36 or 48 hours that I was there with them made me think they were rich or anything. I just thought they spent $10,000. I mean, no offense. I've got $10,000 to pay for a dinner. I just never would. Like, to me, that's weird. Like, I felt awkward, especially as a fan account. At the time, I was called Jeff Lewis Obsessed still, remember? I mean, I wouldn't have paid $10,000 to go to a dinner with Jeff. Like, that would have really got the lovers on me. You know what I mean? Most people with real money don't show off like Dorit, Cecile says. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Very interesting. Anyways, well, we've got about 7 more minutes. If you have any more questions or comments, pop them in the comment section. Again, make sure you're subscribed to me. Make sure you're liking every video on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, everywhere you can. If you see a video of mine, please take 2 seconds and like it. If you've got 3 seconds, take 5 seconds to comment. It really helps, or to save it, or to repost it, if you will. If you've got family and friends that love reality TV and celebrity news, share it with them. CM says Melanie's family owns a huge company and it turns over a lot. That's what she said on a post I read. Oh, I have no idea. Generational inheritance, lavender marriage, question mark, question mark. I have no idea. No earthly idea, y'all. And there's nothing wrong with generational inheritance. I just don't know what job or career she ever had. I don't think I ever asked her, and I don't think she ever told me. Like I said, he's a DJ, but then when I asked him for a website, I was like, well, do you really work? He's like, well, I don't really get a lot of work. He seemed very shy to be a DJ, but I don't know. You can't be too shy and then book a $10,000 dinner with Jeff Lewis, right? And Shane, like, if nothing else, it would have been just them two. If I wouldn't have gone and been invited, it would have been just them two at the $10,000 dinner. Now, I would have thought that was super awkward And she even said at one point, we want you to come. Like, we want to. I mean, I mostly let her do the conversation, her and Scott do the conversation, but I was definitely with them. Hold on. What? What about it? Okay, go put it in my closet. Oh my God. One of my kids is bringing me Christmas presents, and I'm like, what is that? And she's like, Christmas. It came in the mail. And I'm like, okay, go put it in my closet. I mean, I still have Christmas presents being delivered. As my kids get older, the stuff they want is more unique or monogrammed or customized. Like, it takes a week or two to be mailed. It's not stuff on Amazon for like, $19.99, or I can't just pop into Toys R Us like I did when they were kids. I mean, our dates, Brian and I used to take a date night. One of our date nights in around November was always going to dinner. And then this huge Toys R Us that it was in Pasadena, Texas, which is about 20 minutes away. And we would go through all the aisles of Toys R Us to just see everything and see what to get for our kids. And, now they're not into Toys R Us kids. They're older, right? So anyways, no, wrapping presents is definitely not as fun when you get older. And also, thank goodness I've got what do you call it? I have an island in my closet so I can stand and wrap presents. Remember the days of wrapping presents on the wood floors or a bed that's not hard enough to like do them? I at least have an island in my closet so I can wrap the Christmas presents there. But it's still so annoying. Tiva Tamba says, I don't wrap, I give it in gift bags. Do I have any gift bags? I don't have any gift bags under the tree yet. I got 2 gift bags for my girlfriends last night. And the gifts I give them, I haven't even had a chance to go buy their gifts yet, but I will probably put them in gift bags also. What's a lavender marriage? I can only guess, but someone fill a British chick in. I'll let y'all tell her what a lavender marriage is. I love that. Wow, I love that. Life After 50 says, I love wrapping gifts and I could do it professionally. Oh my gosh, I wish. Jet says, do you think having all those summa cum laude kids is genetic, or you guys raising them? That's quite rare to have so many geniuses in one family. I mean, I graduated high school. I graduated college in 4 years. I can't say I never made anything other than an A. Absolutely. So the academics is not from me. I'm the first and only in my family to graduate with a 4-year degree. So my husband's side of the family, his parents went to university, his grandparents went to university. They come from a more academic line. His grandparents on both sides went to universities. And they come from a longer history of college and academics than my family. So they might have gotten it from them. We never paid for grades. We never I have 5 kids. We have 5 kids. They're all very different. So not every one of the 5 kids have made straight A's their entire academic careers, but the oldest 2 have. So I don't know if it's genetics or the way we didn't pay for grades. We didn't have tutors for them. We didn't do all that kind of stuff. So anyways. Okay, well, we are going to wrap things up because I'm starving and it's 2:00. I have not yet. Is your college different from university? No, they're the same thing. College in general here is considered more of a small place. My 3 kids that are currently in college, or the 2 that just graduated in 2025, all went to university. So very large universities. But colleges here are generally smaller, but they're all the same, college or university. I just think in England, they say the uni or whatever. Jet says, I graduated magna cum laude and it nearly killed me. Like, I worked and cried and bled for every grade point. Haha, it was not easy. So I'm in awe over your kids. Yeah, and a summa cum laude, they announced it last night as a 3.7 to 4. But like I said, there was only 2, my daughter included, that had an actual 4.0. And the daughter at Georgia, so at Georgia, an A is a 93. It's not a 90. So she graduated summa cum laude, whatever it's called. But I don't know how many other people But she graduated in 3 years also. Anyways. Okay, well, we are going to let you go. I will see you live Wednesday. Thank you for joining live. If you're listening or watching on the replay, thank you, thank you, thank you. Make sure you go to my podcast and give me a 5-star rating and review, and that you're subscribed or following me everywhere. I would very much appreciate it. See y'all Wednesday. Bye.